Hey, Leuven, and welcome back once again to Grigsby's War in the East, where I am here with turn 46. It's May the 3rd, 1942. We have additional reserves that are released. In anticipation of the coming summer campaigning season, Stavka released additional reserve manpower to the front. 150,000 men are added to the pool. That's nice. Map 1 has excess garrison. And there's a bunch of other stuff that we already took care of. Now, as before, there are a few things that I've done. Went through the air phase, and I went through all the reserves, and basically this is looking good now, this is looking good now, this is looking good now. I moved some units around throughout these, but overall there's nothing very special going on here. How many? This is open 26. Why not? Just sending a few tanks out there. I also in the reserves I got a bunch of tank corps. Of course, I got all those tank brigades. There are quite a few separate tank battalions that are hurt. I now have the full limit in terms of tank corps made. So those are all done. I do think soon I'll be going to rifle corps as well, but we'll see. I don't see them here yet, so I can't make them at this point. So this is all full, and I do have these motorized brigades as left over, so to say. That does mean I should be, say, finding a way to get these to become support units. Still not really sure how to do that, but I'm going to send all of these to the map at the very least. Because they shouldn't be in the reserve, I suppose. And let me just check this on the manual here. I'll be right back. Okay, I found it. Apparently I need to put these units onto the HQ that they're going to be in and then press convert, as long as they have more than one movement point. I did not know that. Well, I do know now. This. So I'll send them all to the map, and I guess that's the way I can turn them into support units. Which is quite nice, because it does mean I can do the same stuff with the rifle brigades. And that does mean that the motorized brigades will be quite useful to put onto the tank corps. I would assume that the rifle brigades delay a tank corps. Also, like again, there does not seem to be a way to get these rifle divisions from rifle brigades. I can only make these till July, and afterwards I'll have to make core, and the question is, do I want to keep building more? Well, we'll see. I did get 12 destroyer anti-tank brigades as well, which is of course a lot larger than those anti-tank regiments, so I'll take that definitely. Much happier with brigade strength support units and regiments or even battalions, which, you know, is absolutely nothing. Besides that, I also now have the full amount of mortar regiments. There's apparently a difference, yeah, in size. So I'd rather have the B than C version. As it is, but I already built it up to the fullest. So there's that. Then basically that's it in terms of building units. I still have some artillery that support units that I can make. About 70. And then the question is, how many of those do I want to build? If we're looking at these, the 42B, that's 152 millimeter. I can build 10 of these here. Start with those. How are these? So oh, they just straight up have more. Why would I even build 42B then? I guess they'll have a different upgrade path or something. 42B gun regiments. Well, this howitzer regiment. So bigger. It's just 28 of them. Cannot make any more brigades in terms of artillery, unfortunately. I have too many of those. This is just 24 of the field guns. I definitely don't want to go for those. I guess what I'm just looking at the moment is a bunch of these howitzer regiments. Like, I have enough of these artillery, so even if I build all of these. There we go. I should be able to fill those up quite nicely, and I'm at my limit. That does mean that once again this will be chock full of artillery support units, but why can't I fucking scroll? It's sometimes just... There we go, and now I can. It's very weird. Anyway, that means that this is again chock full of anti-tank, artillery, infantry units, etc, etc. All of these are on refit, of course, so it's all well and good. I'm gonna transfer these to the map, though. And I'll see if I can't fit these into rifle division somehow. Again, I'll have to go and take a look. I really don't know how to do this. Weird thing is I can convert these indeed as well as support units. 44 rifle brigade, eh? I don't have any tanks that get to be sent to the front at this point, but I did get all these tank corps out here. Quite a bunch of them. They of course have 0 combat per points, so they'll still have to wait on that. Of course I'm still, you know, gathering forces, but either which way, this unit is looking pretty weak. I mean, 22 is not something that I can just overcome, but let's take a look. So my opponent is still not actually looking at things here, which means that I can hide my units, hopefully. Well, he's doing a bit of recon there, some recon here. He still has tanks on the front, which for me assumes that he doesn't have enough infantry, but then again he is having some reserves down here as it is. So he's just giving these guys supplies. He's giving this away. I guess there's a way to shorten his lines a bit. 2 units in tow. I can also attack here. Gonna take a look whether it's still how things are with this river. This is a river crossing, but he can attack me back and push me over the river for large losses. I'm probably not just going to be able to cross here. He only got one of these two, which is funny enough. He lost quite a few units there himself. I wonder what kind of units. Ground losses. He lost 11 Stück, 3 Bs. Mostly indeed just German rifle squads still though. I wonder where those Italians are then. It says Italian machine gun battalion. Doesn't really look like it did anything here. I lost a bunch of tanks and stuff. These guys did stick, funnily enough, and I will try to cross again, which I probably can. Not with these, huh? Oh, I see. It's just bad movement. Light mud. I might be able to position myself into this light mud with these guys. We'll see how it goes. These guys are, of course, deeply entrenched. And I don't necessarily see an easy way of getting them out for the moment. Yeah, so practically that's about it. He's just giving me that. The front has stabilized quite a bit for now, as we're gearing up towards June as well, and whatever summer offensive might be coming. So there's that too. Let's just get started, and let's start with the north. So once again, I'll keep looking at units that are below 10,000 generally. And see how they're doing. All of these are fine, which means I can pretty much keep things like this. I do always want to take a look at the refitting units, because I don't necessarily... Oh, I got a third rail unit here. Interesting. What? How's Oh yeah, they need to move to Colpino by any... at any rate, before they even get to walk, or to get onto the rail here. And move out. Because I do have the rail moving up, but... I'm gonna move these here and act as a national, or a make a super depot. That's what I'm gonna do there. Wow. Okay, that's pretty bad. Funny. Yeah, let's send you here. Some of these are not in super great shape, and my opponent can actually still push, I think, if he wants to. But ultimately, I think he wouldn't be able to cut off Leningrad, even in 42 at this stage. I think it would cost him too many resources, because I think that if he exhausts their strength now, there's no way they're gonna get back up to this combat strength ever again at some point. Either way, let's take a look here. They are ready, so they are actually in okay shape here. Not these, they are even unready. But my opponent has seen fit to not attack. Luckily. Let's make sure they do get reserves at 48. Let's get rid of that machine gun battalion there. And they should get replaced, or... Well, let's take a look here. So, you're full, 28th Army, you're in refit, ready. And currently I'm just switching these guys up. Some of these are in terrible shape. If they have a singular stack against a German one, then they tend to get a lot of attrition losses. I'll keep these on refit too. They have reasonable amount of supplies, but I also want them to get men. And both of them are still on rifles. Oh no, your own rifles got 41. Okay. But they're not doing as well as this Guards Rifle Corps. Okay. Both of those are on the 6th Reserve Army. Where is the 6th Reserve Army? Here you are, under Rokossovsky. I'll move this over here. The tricky part, of course, is that there are quite a few units. Well, I don't know how many of these units do need reserves. However, I'll get both of these over here. Because I'll be trying to break through this here area. They'll all be at 100. Let's see. Both of you can move up here to make space. Okay, that's the 6th Reserve Army right there. Next up, I have the 10th Reserve Army, which is currently here on the train. Under Stefan Kalinin, which will change. And they will get... What are these under? Are they under Stavka? They are currently. These still have a bunch of infantry, so... What I would rather do is switch them up and get Tolbuken. Out here. Get a few of these tanks under the 10th Reserve Army here. They're on the train, so that's okay. Okay, You should be under the 10th Reserve Army. I'll put all of these to the side here. So they can get a lot closer. You should just walk, apparently. And then I have another rifle division coming into Ostashkov here. Okay. So these 10 corps, well, let's see actually. So 10th Reserve, 10th Reserve, 10th Reserve is now full, but we'll fix that, of course. First, all the 10 corps will go into the 10th Reserve Army. Obviously, I'm not attacking this turn. Whatever units I've left here, I'll put them under the 47th, and the 47th will also get a better general here. But let's start with this guy, Ivan Chernyakovsky. And I'll put 10th Reserve Infantry under the 47th. 3 more. How does that look now? 1 more. Okay, I would think that he will start seeing something like that, because I can see quite a few of these, although I'm doing recon here, so, and he doesn't. Cannot see any units behind the lines in any of those other regions. Looking at depots, I guess currently Ostashkov is the closest that they can go to by train, and they cannot get off at this point. Okay, I do have the 49th Army as a reserve unit to follow up this breach as well. So I will somewhat put them in position. Or try to get them somewhat closer. They've all been on the train, so they will, well, not all of them. Depending on how things go, I might feel like I'm ready next turn. But let's see though. Let's at least do that to make sure that my units are somewhat stronger here. And my opponent is not very likely to attack here either which way, given that my fortifications are level 3 right now. These guys are actually very weak. Plus me low morale? Doesn't really look like us mod. Yeah, it's heavy mod. Okay, fair enough. Okay, I still have the 4th Reserve Army currently here. And the question is, do I want them? Maybe here, and I might. Certainly you can go on the 4th Reserve Army there. As far as I'm concerned, they still need combat prep points, and actually they're oh, come on. You are ready. Quite a few of these guys are ready in a sense. Let's see though. Because they're all fine. We have the cavalry corps? I have some problem with clicking here. Well, I do need that. What I'm gonna do though is I'm actually gonna put this cavalry under the 47th Infantry, or the 47th Army. Get to do it from here. Let them join in. These guys, again, my opponent might attack, but I think it will cost him, and he doesn't really look to be very aggressive at this point. I'm gonna put the NKPS here. And leave it there for a moment. No casualties here. Is there anything on the line here? No. Both of these. Actually, let's cancel that. How is the 47th Army? They can both join the 47th Army. And then that army will be full. I you at 50, which means I can put you under the northwestern front without any worry. And northwestern front is 13 at that point, but Kalinin front is also 13. Kind of sucks. I have Focal front and Leningrad front. They're both full. It's fine, I can technically get some other army understaffed, can put some units on the northwestern front. I'm not gonna switch up Bujoni. He's admin 5. I don't have the points for it either way. Let's just move further down. So we have these. Keep them in a line behind it on this front so that if they get pushed back, there's immediately a new triple stack. Let's take a look here. You need to be refitted, so they'll be coming up. Ah, really? I took the wrong guy? That's dumb. I'll be okay. Rest is good. Next up. '24th Army units are kind of looking okay. It doesn't really matter if they don't look that powerful. The problem with this area is that I currently cannot attack here, so because I'm just too weak still. There are not that many units that I need to have on refit around here anyhow. Which is nice. Well, I guess the coastal group army it is. With units that don't look too amazing. There are also units below 10,000 here. I guess this 8,000 is the biggest problem now. 3rd Shock Army. And 13th. Okay. I guess let's get the 9th Cavalry Corps out, although these guys are also hardly promising. You're at 63, which is a lot worse. And there we go. Fourth Army, huh? That's quite nice. Then 101st out, you in, you on reserve, or refit I should say. Next. '21st Army. Yes, those hexes. Let's just start with getting a second unit on there and then take a look which units need helping. None. That means that they are actually left over for some other unit. Very nice. You're on ready, you're on ready here. I mean, he is... Whatever is going to happen, he is going to try and launch probably his offensive through here because he has so many defenses. Or he has so many units in the rear here. I can only imagine that he is going to launch another offensive towards the Donetsk Basin. Or the Donbass. All the cavalry. I'm sending all my cavalry away because I can get other units in exchange for that, and I'd rather have something else. They just clog up the Stavka HQ. Let's continue though. I have actually quite a few units here. I'm not so sure whether I need that many. I don't see my opponent launching an attack here, and given his defenses, I also don't really see myself attacking there. If I'd had to attack anywhere, like I would guess it would have to come from down here, something like that, towards Gomel. Well, I mean, not that Gomel is particularly interesting as a town, but then some push towards Gomel here from the north or from the center would then ultimately be the goal there. North of Kiev, towards the Dnieper, I guess. Because I don't see it coming from here really. There's also lots of swamps. And I actually think I might keep some of these as a reserve. Also a bit further to the back. In Kharkov and Belgorod. For the moment, given he's probably resumed or next attempt at attacking forward, I guess. He also has to, because otherwise I'll start pushing down here, and he's very close to getting this expanded again, and I know that he has a reasonable amount of units here, or he'll be looking to defend like this, but we'll see. Either way, I have no units in that patch that really need an additional aid, basically. So I just put these on reserve for now. And I don't nearly have enough units to make any kind of attack there anyway. These two could act as an exchange here, but most of these are actually doing fine with these guys, even at 13,000, which is quite a lot. With most of that stuff having stabilized quite nicely, actually, there are some things here like this that needs change. The NKVD motorized can refit in the back, and that gives me a slightly better defense there. 12, 12, 12, 11, 9, 10. Alright. That ain't good. Let's get you into Kremenchug and you on the ready. I have a sensation I'm gonna feel some serious pain. And refit. You're on the ready here. Oh yeah. Man, look at these stacks. Technically, my opponent can toss me around like a ragdoll around here. The reserve army here has some reasonable stuff going on. Actually, I'm gonna put you and you one up front and put you as a reserve here. I want something of a checkerboard defense. Somewhat, wherever that might be possible. Which will be something like that. You will go here. Here. I wouldn't necessarily say that my opponent will strike up there, but we'll see. I have second reserve around here with these guys being in good condition now. I got one cavalry up in here, and let's move both cavalry corps up here as a reserve and over here as a... Oh, yeah, you can be on the ready. Reserve, and I'll move them up here. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna regret this. They are going to feel a lot of pain, but these are the most powerful units that I have in the region. Army, 44th Army, 44th Army. Then you'll go here onto the 5th Reserve Army. And 5th Reserve Army. 44th is also okay now. You're in reserve. Reserve over here. And okay, well actually then let's put you under the 44th Army. 2 and just like that. Reserve, reserve. These are the toughest and meanest of the rifle divisions that I have here too. Okay, let's get a few of these out because they're obviously in a bad state of mind right now, like these two. The losses that I suffered at their hands are not insane, but right, well that ain't gonna cut it. What I am gonna do, this is probably a new unit. I'm gonna get my units into the mud here. And I'm going to get fresh new units here too. No, not even you can get there, sadly. Neither can the cavalry corps. A bummer that. That's pretty much the bare minimum that I can do. Let's get all of these on the refit here. They lost all their combat prep points. And seeing as how all of these are close to being ready, I'm gonna move the reserve army here for a potential crossing. And we'll see what they do. This is more or less just a diversion, kind of. Taking Nikolaev in that sense would be great, but I don't have the strength to do it at this point. Sadly, there's also a singular rail line going there. Of course, this is a second rail line. And I don't actually have it from here. The interesting thing is there's this whole rail line over here, which I cannot use indeed, because they hold the other side of the river. Can't really fix it up, but these things should indeed... I mean, they're working on these two, so I guess next will be this and this. That's okay. I'll get there, but getting Nikolaev would be a great boon to my rail services down there. Of course, getting this rail line up to Fastov is going to be one of the most important ones, because that's the double rail. And the only other double rail here is Odessa, so I can only work from there. Of course, the closer we get to Germany, the better those the rail lines will be. With coming here, that being even better. All right. The only thing that's left for me to do then at this point is taking a look at any other units that might have arrived onto the map, which they have not. And what I'm gonna do then is, first of all these still just stay there. And gain combat prep points. Let me just go and get Stavka here. So there are again quite a few things here at Stavka that I can dish out. Actually, let's move it. So let's take a look at, for example, 18th Army. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna start with 5 separate tank battalions per army, and then we'll see. They can get 1 artillery, 2 anti-tank. I see. These also, these must have slipped me. Somehow. I guess for now back we go, because I do want to get those anti-tank units into the reserves. That is the easiest way of dealing with it right now. The thing is with this is that I think this switched to 40.5 to this, and I just don't have enough of them. Or something. That one is okay, that's just one of them. 2. And 514th is okay, and then 645th also needs to go. Okay. Now then, let's try that again. Come on. Thank you. '18th Army could use the anti-tank. Okay, next. How about 5th Reserve Army? They have nothing currently, so let's give them 5 tanks, I guess. 5 separate tank battalions. 1, 2. Okay. I guess they can get the artillery. The armored car brigade. Is 18th. I have a few engineer sappers actually. That kind of stuff is quite messy. That should be okay. And some mortars. Let's start again with 18th. 2 mortars. 18th needs 3 mortars. One, 2, 3. They also have 3 guard sled rocket, that's fine. Next, 44th. Okay, needs 2 separate tank. I really thought I already sent all of those, but okay. "44th. I'll give them the AA. 2, 3. 5. And this is the kind of stuff that I do every turn. It's not particularly fun, this, but that's okay. In that sense, this game is quite a lot about micromanagement as well. Especially for the Soviets with their gazillion support units. 40th Army needs 3 more tank. At least. No mortars. Well, it's for a good cause, I guess. They also didn't have any guard side rocket. There we go. How about the here 6th Army that's around here? Can I have too many tanks? Motorcycle regiment, eh? Really only want 1 per army. 2 mortars. They'll take 3. To the 6th. Two, 3, Okay, that's I guess most of the armies around here. So I'll be moving you up and continue along with 3rd Army, which needs 3 tank, 5 mortar. Okay, next, 46th has nothing. One, two, three, 4, and 5. 10th Army has need for 4 mortars. And how about armor? They have enough. 53rd Army could use 1. Fourth Shock can use 3. Fifty-ninth, 1. Twenty-first has enough. 4th has too many. Fifty-sixth could use, or 57th could use 2. And let's leave the rest for sending on the next turn. I cannot dish out any more support units. Let's move you to Kursk for the moment, and that is it. So I'm planning for an offensive here. We'll see if I can launch it on the next turn. There seems to be still rain. We'll see how the weather turns for the better here. Looking at forces, we have 6.5, opponent 3.153, 84 to 37, 5 to 3, 2.2 to 2.4 here. Losses for this turn, he actually got men back on the front. 366. For a total of 1.7 million casualties from my opponent, 3.7 from me. Looking at the metrics, victory points, initiative. High watermarks on the victorious. Total men. Total guns. Total AFVs. Aircraft. And on the map, map men. Actually going down for my opponent here, interesting. Map guns, map AFVs, whoop. Map aircraft, manpower losses, AFV, total aircraft losses. Okay, let's take a look at these. Fuel stores, oil stores, supply stores, resource stores. Most important, manpower pool now flatlining for my opponent, which is a shame from on my end, really. Armaments. I will get this manpower like up in the next turn, I guess, and then that's where we're at. So I'll be shipping it back, and we'll see how things go from here. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye bye.